Welcome back to the Fundamentals podcast, where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion-based show. If you don't like our opinion, you don't have to listen. I don't know what else to tell you. You don't have to listen. I would like you to listen, hear us out, have a conversation with us. You might have a different opinion. We can conversate about it. But
Yeah.
if you don't like it, then fair enough. Look, we got a lot going on in sports. I mean, we had media day for the NBA. The baseball playoffs are in effect. They're up and running. There's games on as we speak.
Mhm.
The NFL is like crazy right now. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who's good, who's not good. Nobody's consistent. The
Right.
team that we thought would be like a shit show, and we didn't, know Pittsburgh, and they seem like the most competent team in the division right now. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with them.
Well,
We have players that we had no idea how good they would be because regardless of what I know the Colts. They look good, and the Rams kind of one of the top defenses, kind of. But I watched that game,
mhm.
and let me be very very clear. Even as a Rams fan, the Colts still looked really good, and I'm gonna tell you what, they actually should have had another touchdown on that board. I can't remember his name, but if that wide receiver does not start celebrating before he actually got the
Right.
touchdown,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
then I don't know if I,
Mm-mm.
I can't remember
He
if it
didn't
was a
celebrate
celebration or
it.
he just dropped
He
it,
just
right?
lost the ball.
Yeah.
He
He
just
just
lost the
lost the
ball,
ball.
like on the 1 yard line, and it went
He's
through the
gonna
back of the
take
end
one.
zone, whatever. Yeah. So if that
I was
doesn't
watching
happen,
a
if
I
that
was
doesn't
watching a thing
happen,
with Cam Newton explaining about that whole entire situation. He
yeah,
said the dude he had that little sleeve on. And he said
yeah,
if he didn't have that sleeve on that was so it makes it so slick to hold on to the ball, you never lose that.
Hmm.
yeah,
You shouldn't
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the NFL is crazy. Hockey, is starting up. It has started, and so there's plenty of sports. I haven't been able to keep up with the hockey, in terms of with the preseason and all of that stuff. I did catch the some of the Stars, St. Louis, Dallas Stars, and St. Louis Blues highlights last night. But let's start with the MLB playoff. Let's start with this picture, postseason picture. We have Detroit playing Cleveland, and that series is currently tied. And this is the American League, and we have Boston playing the Yankees. The winner of Detroit and Cleveland will play Seattle, and then the winner of Boston Yankees will play Toronto. Over in the National League, we have Cincinnati playing the Dodgers, and then we have the San Diego Padres playing the Chicago Cubs. The winner of that Cincinnati Los Angeles Dodgers game plays Philadelphia, and then the winner of the San Diego and Cubs game plays the Brewers. So, Gary, I would like to ask you of the current matchups going on, who are you favoring, and what is your overall total look, and then we'll talk about the Mets meltdown
Sure.
after that.
Oh, every one of those matchups right now is pretty tight, except for the Dodgers and the Reds. I know
Agreed.
Otani first at bat, knocked one out of the park last night, and they
Yeah.
scored like 10 runs. But every other game that played last night and even into today were pitching duels, which I love. And to have like in the Red Sox Yankees matchup last night, going into the bottom of the ninth, they had the meat of their order come up to bat. The bases were loaded. I mean,
Loaded. Yep.
there was so much good energy coming and so much great baseball last night. I had a great time watching baseball all day yesterday, really.
Yesterday, yeah.
To be able to watch a game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon was
I
fantastic. I
love
know
that because I
a
was
few
keeping
weeks
up with it
ago
at
you
work on
talked
my
about,
phone.
why are we staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning when it
Yeah.
seemed like every game was over by 11 o'clock last night. It was fun. It was fun watching all
Yeah.
those games yesterday. But yeah, the Tigers looked good yesterday. Tarek Skubal had a great performance, pitched so well. I think the Guardians had 3 balls that actually left the infield yesterday. I mean, he was just on his game. So that was a
Right.
great performance by him. And they needed that
Right.
because they almost did a Mets. They
Yeah,
almost
they were
blew
like
it. Yeah,
on the borderline.
yeah. They almost blew it. But now they lost game 2, which just ended, not too long ago,
Yeah,
and
that
they're
game.
going to be
Yeah,
going to game 3 in Detroit. So that's exciting. And right now,
yeah.
it looks like the Yankees and the Red Sox are tied 2-2.
Two
Another,
to two. Yep.
yeah, but Chapman, the way he shut down that Yankees a meter of their order last night when they
Oh,
had the
last
bases
night. Yeah.
loaded, nobody out in the ninth, and they were down by 2. And yeah, he got the pop fly and then the strikeout and then the other strikeout. That was a wonderful, wonderful. That's why they pay Chapman the money that they pay him. That's why it seems like every
Yeah.
time a solid team in the last 10 years, it seems like since the Cubs, um, is going deep in the playoffs, they got Aroldis Chapman in their bullpen. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
he's he's money. So yeah, it's been fun watching these games, and um, I think the I'd really like to see the Yankees and the Mariners play in the next round. But unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to make it past the Red Sox.
It's
Even though
yeah,
the Red Sox
and
have no
that
business beating the Yankees,
yeah, that
is they
matchup is
like that.
so historic though.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much
Yeah,
fun watching. But yeah, and then just the Guardians and the Tigers playing, and
that's
even
a
the
good one
Cubs game
too.
was a good game yesterday. And they came back. The Padres came back today. They had good pitching, shut them
Yeah.
out, and Machado hit a 2-run home run. So he was getting the bat. So yeah,
Right.
it's a lot of solid. The players that are supposed to be stepping up are stepping up in these
Are
playoffs so
stepping
far,
up.
which
Yep.
is
That's
really
what I
great.
was thinking too.
Hmm.
All the ones that we expect to step
Yeah,
up are the ones that are stepping up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I I would love to see um the Detroit uh the Detroit play Seattle Mariners. I would like that. I would like the Yankees to play Toronto. Um, LA, I mean, like you said, that's the one that's kind of,
they're so much better
it's,
than
yeah, they're
everybody.
just
Yeah,
so much
yeah,
better.
yeah,
Even, it on paper, like San Diego seems like they're better than the Cubs, but the Cubs are like, and it's hard for me to say this being a Cardinal fan, but the Cubs they've just had so much fight this season.
yeah,
I think whoever wins out of that series though, I don't know, I feel like the Brewers just they have like this energy,
yeah.
that when you go into that series, they're just on this roll, and they going into the postseason, they just have momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and half these teams, I didn't even think they'd be in the playoffs right now just 2 weeks ago, because we talked about the Mets and
Yeah,
they just fell apart and
they
fell off
did.
a
I
cliff.
mean, huge collapse.
Yeah. So I didn't think the
Huge
Chicago Cubs would be in the playoffs. I wasn't expecting
playoffs.
them.
Yeah,
So it seems like
yeah.
everybody's just kind of happy to be there right now. And they're playing loose, man. I mean, that's almost the best way to
But
describe the Cubs
I
right
I
now.
like it though. I like
Yeah.
it though.
Yeah. It's
It's
great.
it's made it fun already.
Yeah.
Just yeah, yeah. And the Mets owner, he came out and apologized. And here's the thing. I get it. The owner of the team. Yeah, you want to apologize, but something I don't know, man. You got to look at the management, because how do you just fall like that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about this is, you know what I mean? Like, this might be one of the bigger collapses that
Oh,
we've seen in
historical. It's like
Major
what the Red
Baseball
Sox did a few
history.
years ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, they had the best record in baseball. Going, getting up towards the All Star break and stuff, and then they just fell apart. Their hitters still hit. I don't understand. I mean, Soto had a solid season, so
I
I'm
hope
not
so
even.
for $765 million
Yeah, well, he had like
contract.
40 home runs, and he stole, like 38 bases. He almost
But
he almost went
yeah,
40-40 this year. Hitting a ton of runs. I mean, I don't know what happened. It almost like I don't. It's almost like, and every time I would turn on the TV, they were winning games and stuff. I don't know if their
Games, yeah.
program fell apart or what happened this year. But yeah, that's but baseball's
That's
funny because it doesn't seem like paying your players a bunch of money is the solution to winning. Because I mean, other than Chicago, there's no team in any central, um, whether it's American League or National League central team
national.
that pays a lot of money to their players.
They
But
don't.
you've got
Yeah.
the Tigers in the playoffs this year. You've got the Guardians. You've got
The Guardians.
you know the
Yep.
Cubs are just playing so loose, and they're going up against a solid Padres team.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, even Cincinnati,
yeah,
even though they're
exactly.
outmatched, but even Cincinnati, they don't pay. Like
But
they're
they
not.
never quit. Yeah, and they've got
Yeah.
so many young players that are just fun to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's I think the key to all of this. If you look at all the players that are tearing it up right now in baseball,
Hmm.
they're all young. You know, you've
Oh
got
yeah.
Paul Skeens, you got Scooble. God, this is. I mean,
Yeah. They're all in their mid, like 26, 27, 25,
nobody's.
26,
Yeah,
27.
yeah. Judge
Yeah.
is young. I
Yeah.
mean,
He's young.
Judge is
Yeah.
already like surpassing Yogi Berra and Joe DiMaggio for the most home runs in a career for a New York Yankee. And I don't even think
Yeah.
he's 30 years old yet. So yeah, there's a lot of fun years to go with all this
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, they're not going
Well, this
anywhere
is this is. I
anytime.
mean, I think we could solidify with this season. I think we could say this is like a new era of players, right?
Yeah,
This is the new generation, I
yeah.
guess you could say. Um, you
And don't
know,
forget about the Phillies. The Phillies are just sitting around waiting for somebody to play them, And they're
yeah,
probably the best team in the National League right now. So them and the Brewers. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, and the Brewers, like I said, like they just got on this tear. They just got on this run, and
Right.
and it's like, where did that come from? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Exactly.
and it was, although it was like one of them things where I'm like, man, no, my Cardinals definitely don't have a
Well,
chance,
yeah.
but
It seems like that's how the whole season was, where you're just like doing double takes when you're looking at the standings, and you're like, the Tigers are the Tigers really
yeah.
the best team in the American League
Well,
right now?
that's how it was. Yeah,
Brewers is the same way,
yeah.
and you're like, what is happening here? But it's
Well, because
yeah,
even with, when I was looking at it, and um when I first saw Cincinnati, I was like, okay, they're looking all right. And then I was, looking at all the teams. There's like three teams up here that 2 months ago I'd be like, they're not going to be in,
yeah,
at all, right? Like three for sure up there that I was like, they're not going to be in,
right.
and they're in,
And they're in,
like
they're doing well. Yeah,
Cubs. I was like, Cubs aren't, like, even though for most of the season they were like kind of neck and neck with us, they kind of hit this like
yeah.
spurt where they were like,
Hmm.
oh, no, but yeah, no, it's definitely been a good season, a good fun season because of that. I think it
Sure.
is I think we have a well balanced showing this season
Yeah,
in terms of postseason.
sure.
It's a good balance of the teams that are in. It's just a
Yeah.
really good balance. There's some really good games
Mhm.
that are going to come out of this.
Well, I remember when the year that the Rangers won the World Series, and they had
Two
that playoff.
two the year
Yeah,
before last year,
like
right?
3 years, two
Yeah,
years ago. Yeah, they had
2 year.
that
Yeah, I think
playoff
it was two.
series against the Astros. That was just
Yeah,
so amazing, and it seems like
yeah,
a lot of that's happening right now too. Except the pitchers are stepping up, which is really fun to
right,
watch.
right.
So yeah, it's if you like good defense, this is so far a good
This
start
is
to the season, the postseason for you.
yeah,
Because
yeah, for sure.
other than that Dodgers game, the pitching was really solid yesterday. But
Right.
it seemed
Well,
it carried over today.
and the thing is, like, when we talk about sports as fans, I'm I'm always okay if my team is not the team that's winning, as long as the product is good, right?
Sure.
And so, like, even with like college football this season. I'm loving the teams that we're expecting not to win winning. Like I'm loving the balance that I'm seeing this season. Um, I'm
Yeah,
loving the balance that I'm
yeah,
seeing in the NFL this season. Like
yeah,
it seems we got a good mashup of anybody on any given Sunday.
yeah.
Anybody on any Saturday. Nobody expected Virginia Tech to beat Florida State Friday night last week.
Virginia.
I mean Virginia to beat
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Florida State.
That was actually
Nobody,
shocking. I didn't expect that neither.
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody expected that, right?
Well,
And then it
you have to
happens.
be reminded that Virginia has a football team sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah. And then
So
also you got to also think conference games. They are
oh yeah,
always
those are
yeah,
always turned
yeah,
up when it
yeah.
comes to a conference game.
Mhm.
but did you think? No, we think Clemson would be this bad this season?
No,
Like if
no.
you before the season started and we told you Clemson would have lost 3-4 games already this season, 3 games, you'd
Nah.
be like,
No,
no, exactly,
I, I,
right?
No, that wasn't on the radar.
yeah,
Exactly. Like it's so many things that are catching us off guard, and I like that. I
mm,
I, I like it. It's
It's great.
exciting.
It's
You know.
great for sports. I mean,
Yeah, for
oh,
sure.
I mean, this just
Even
makes it a lot better to watch the season when you
yeah,
don't have. Oh, I know who's gonna win every
yeah.
single
right.
game, or
Or just
like
one
Alabama beating Georgia.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
four
I
upsets.
Alabama.
didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
expect Georgia to lose against
Mhm.
Alabama. I mean,
Nope.
I always expected it to be a tough game, but I didn't think that Alabama would actually beat Georgia.
Right.
They did,
Yeah.
Not to say that Alabama's a trash team because they're not. We know Alabama's pedigree, but still, comparison to Georgia, I'm not on the Alabama bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah, they gonna have players, but I feel like Georgia's better coach. But hey, you see what we happened?
Especially
They
after how
Yeah.
the
lost.
season started with Alabama.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Hmm.
they've bounced back nicely, but
Yeah,
then
everybody forgot about that first
then
loss.
they lined up against a couple of smaller teams or not so, and then
Hmm.
you're like, okay, well now they're finna play a ranked team again, and we saw how the season opened up, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, they beat Georgia,
Hmm.
okay, you know what I mean? Like, um, I like that, I like that. The
Just makes it
NFL,
enjoyable to watch.
huh?
I said it just makes it more enjoyable to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, the NFL, man. I look, I know I mentioned this last week, but what is going on with Baltimore's defense? Seven starters were out. Like it looks like
Looking,
a
they're looking like San Fran
crapshoot. Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as injuries.
As far as injuries, but no, but Baltimore looks just. There's no fire. Do we need to? I mean, John Harbaugh might be on the. I know they just gave him an extension, but
He
you
ain't on
know,
no hot seat. He ain't on no hot seat.
I don't. He just
Uh,
there's no fire on this team, and I'm not. I'm not. I know. I'm not. I'm kind of sounding like a Baltimore fan, but I'm. I'm a little bit invested in them, like, and so like I have questions, so it's like, what's going on with them? I mean, Cincinnati, we know what Cincinnati is, right? Historically, we know Cincinnati to be cheapskates. We know they don't want to pay players. That's been a thing for them, right?
mhm.
But and yeah, they had their run where they made it to the Super Bowl against the Rams. Okay, fair enough, right? But they haven't really been much else since. Like the defense has been bad, the offensive line has been bad since, right? Um,
Yeah,
but like with and we expect Cincinnati's defense to be bad, and we expect the offensive line to be so good, but we expect Joe Burrow to just be able to throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, right?
Well, the
hmm,
first thing is you
Um,
got to have Joe Burrow.
got after Burrow healthy. Yeah,
that's
he
true,
hasn't been for
If
half
he
his
ain't there, you
career.
seen what it look like.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Um, but Baltimore, we didn't expect this. We
Well,
expected,
we
we
definitely
expected,
didn't. Well, I'll tell you right now, we definitely didn't expect the defense to be this trash. That's for
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
yeah,
You never
That's the
yeah,
expect
problem with
Baltimore's defense
Baltimore.
to be
The
bad. Yeah,
offense isn't the problem with Baltimore. Now,
yeah,
they done
yeah.
had miscues and fumbles and things like that. That doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Granted. But that defense has been atrocious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They have been atrocious out there. So, and that's what we don't expect to see from Baltimore is the bad
Yeah,
defense.
yeah,
Offensively, you would think, well, more than likely they would have a more struggling offense than their defense,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
not with the team that they got constructed anymore. They're more of a high-powered offense with the way that they're constructed with Henry and the receivers that they got, and the tight ends that they utilize, and Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson.
Yeah.
So you don't think their defense is going to match that. Defense just hasn't showed up. But then when you talk about injuries, that also hurts too. So that's just kind of where we at with Baltimore now. Do I believe that Baltimore is going to continue on this trajectory? No. I think that they'll get it together and they start
Yeah,
wringing out some wins pretty soon. But just
yeah.
right now, first 4 weeks, offensively they look great. Defensively, they need to get their act together because they have really been, man, they've
Yeah.
been real bad. They've
I
been
didn't even
real
mention
bad.
the Cleveland Browns.
You don't have to.
Before, I
Yeah.
I
mean,
mean, yeah, yeah.
They're
right
starting.
before.
Dylan Gabriel's going to start. They
It's
moved him to
it's
starter.
about time.
Oh,
I mean, it
great.
wasn't like they were contending for a Super Bowl
They
this
didn't
year.
need they
They
didn't need Flacco
they're
starting
trying to
anyway.
figure out who their future quarterback is. So I don't know what they even brought Joe Flacco into the equation for, especially after
Right.
they had
He
signed
was just
And
him.
on the roster from last year.
No,
yeah.
he wasn't even. He was
No, they
with the Colts
re-signed
Oh,
last
he
him.
year.
did
Yeah,
Yeah.
resign. Well, they
Yeah.
yeah,
were
yeah.
granted they re-signed him, but you already know they didn't have Deshaun Watson because
Which
he was going to
technically
be
they
out.
still have Deshaun
Yeah,
Yeah,
Watson.
they still have him, but he was going to be yeah, but he was going to be out for a long time because he just had that he had re-aggravated his injury in the off season or something
They
like
Retore.
said
that.
he looks really good right now.
But yeah. Mhm. Do
And
you put high stake in that?
So, so does that mean there's a chance he's going to be their starting
I
quarterback?
mean, that might
I
be. He
think
might
I
be the
think by the
starter.
end of the
He comes
season he
back
is
in.
going to play. I mean, at
He
this
might.
point, it's
Why
a
not?
shit show.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot.
I mean, he's still
Yeah.
he's still signed to the team for like 5 or 6
Yeah,
more years, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
something like
like
that. He
I
got
think
that
it's
big
4 or 5
contract, man.
more
what
years.
a
He
mess.
got that big contract, so they're gonna try to play him sometime. But
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it ain't
and
gonna do
then
much if you
I
ain't
totally
blocking
forgot
for him.
about
So
the
I
show.
mean,
yeah, and then the
just
whole Rex Ryan going after Shadur Sanders out of nowhere.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
You
Why?
didn't see that?
Nah, I
yeah,
didn't see that.
yeah. I'm not a fan of Rex
Yeah,
Ryan right now because
yeah. Rex Ryan went on an attack at, on Shadur Sanders and was like, "You need to get your stuff together, and you should be sitting in the front, and you're you should be the starter, so you need to be doing what you need to do to be the starter." That came out of
That
nowhere.
ain't
how do we
that
know
ain't
he's
his
not?
fault.
Yeah, I mean, how
The
do we
what? He the
know that he's
coach?
not
I
doing
mean,
anything?
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
He ain't put
hey,
himself on the bench.
Exactly.
yeah,
he
yeah.
started.
It
He
it
started
was really
fourth.
cringe.
Yeah.
Technically, he started fourth because you got Deshaun Watson, Flacco, then you got Gabriel, and
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
you even have
they're
Pickett for
treating
a little
him
bit
as a
there
fifth
too.
round
Yeah.
player. Come on
Yeah.
now,
yeah,
let's just be honest.
yeah.
It ain't his
Plus,
fault.
all the pictures show that Shadur Sanders is sitting in the front seat at
Yeah. I
practice.
would
So
love if I
You
was
know,
the Browns, I would take a picture of him sitting in the front seat and say, "There you go."
yeah, and who is Rex Ryan to talk about like nepotism? I mean, your dad was Buddy Ryan.
Your last name.
Your dad was Buddy Ryan. Like
Right.
you're only like come on, guy.
yeah, for real, like real talk. Like,
Yeah.
get
So
out of here
yeah,
with that.
that was random. Um, another team that I kind of want to who's struggling, but doesn't look like they're struggling because they're falling under the radar of the struggle bus is the Houston Texans. Like
No, they're
we
struggling.
definitely
Yeah.
expected them to be a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely
they're
expected them.
struggling bad.
The Colts are
That
Yeah.
offense
slowly
is
running away
looking
with that
really
division
bad.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Houston,
That's
Texas offense is looking bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Well,
looking really bad.
Jackson,
It's been looking kind of bad since last year, though. To be honest with
Yeah.
you.
it
Yeah.
has.
CJ Stroud had a
Yeah.
tough sophomore
Since
year.
Christmas, I mean, since like a couple weeks before the Christmas game, they started
Yeah,
to look
they've been
like
real
flat.
lackluster. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, granted, they didn't had a lot of key injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been having a lot of key injuries to key players, but man, they Stroud is looking like he's regressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then that kind of we know the talent that he has. So
Yeah,
that prompts you to look at coaching, right? And
No, DeMarco
it's
Ryan's a defensive coach, so
huh?
said DeMarco Ryan's a defensive coach, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there it
yeah, yeah,
is.
for sure. But they have a coach, a QB coach and offense coordinators and
Oh
all
yeah,
of that. Like,
that's facts. That's facts.
yeah, so that some of those things need to be looked at. I mean, even with
Ain't Mixon
it's
out still
different,
though?
huh?
This Mixon's still with them, right? He just injured.
Yeah, yeah, Mixon,
That's
yeah, Joe
another that's
Mixon.
another key injury. Like I like Chubbs, but I believe Mixon's a better back for that
Oh yeah,
system.
absolutely. But the difference is like we could look at Cam Ward and we know he has a lot of talent, but he just doesn't have a team around him, right? Like
Yeah,
the
he
wide
sure enough don't
receivers
got a
have the
line.
dropsies, you know. He doesn't have an
Mm-hmm.
offensive line. He doesn't have wide receivers that like just showing that they're not great at catching because they drop a lot of
I
passes.
mean, Tennessee don't have a team. Period. They're
Right.
almost like they're pretty much. I hate to say it, they're the Carolina Panthers of the AFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a young quarterback,
Yeah.
no offensive line, no weapons really around him.
Yeah.
It's
Or the
just
weapons in Carolina are just they're maturing at the same pace that Bryce Young is maturing at.
Hmm.
They're all young too. So maybe
yeah,
there's a glimmer of hope in 5 years, or 2 or 3 years. But yeah, and it's the same with the Titans.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they, they're,
Neither team really has a defense. Now I will say
Yeah.
the surprise shocker is Jacksonville for them being 3-1 right now. That was
Yeah.
actually a surprise.
Well, their defense is kind of underrated right now. I mean,
Yeah.
they're on a tear. I've been keeping up with them,
who have
and
they played though?
huh?
Who have they played though? Because I know
San
their first
Francisco,
their first game was against the
yeah,
Panthers.
Panthers, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, they,
and
they
then
played the team that was on the IR last week.
yeah, and I mean, and they're in
Yeah.
the same division as the Texans and the Colts. So I mean,
Colts, yeah,
that
that's gonna
division's up
that
for grabs. So that's, I mean, it's
yeah,
like the NFC South. You just don't know what to expect from year to
yeah,
year. And
But the
yeah,
oh
Colts is
yeah,
looking good. They're another
yeah,
surprise. Colts
yeah,
is
the
definitely a
Colts
surprise, especially with
Daniel
yeah.
Daniel
Jones.
Jones
Yeah,
doing what he do.
right.
Oh yeah, they gave I mean the Rams are the number 4 defense in the league, and they were able to do some things. We were able to stop Jonathan Taylor from running, but
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was still able to pass pretty good. There were some plays where I think later on we figured out that the defense figured out how to get some pressure on him. But even with the pressure, this is what I was most impressed with Daniel Jones. The interception at the end of the game, like that was we're trying to make something happen at the end of the game to try to
Hmm.
come back. I'm not gonna knock Daniel Jones for that. One of the things that Daniel Jones that I saw that really impressed me was even with all the pressure that we threw at him, like he it was like no rattling, right? He still
Yeah,
like seemed poised. He still was like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Um, and I
He's definitely showed a lot of growth.
he's
Well,
yeah he's
and he's in such a better situation now in Indianapolis than he was in New
yeah
York. I mean,
Yeah,
I've never heard anyone say anything bad about. I mean, Ursay had his problems, with drugs
yeah he
and
was
all
an
that stuff,
alcoholic
but the
allegedly.
players loved him. Um,
Yeah,
there's no debating that, and it seems like the three daughters are just carrying the torch. So, can you
yes,
imagine going from the toxicity of the Giants to now being in Indianapolis? The fans there are just, I lived in Indianapolis for a couple of years. The fans really support the team. There's not as much negativity coming from the press, and he's got
yeah,
a better ownership team, and oh, and he's got a running back, and I mean, it seems like
yeah.
he's just playing on cloud nine right now because of the
yeah,
situation he was in.
having fun.
Yeah,
They
he's
probably
having a
on
good
and
time.
and then you got also
That makes a
scheme
difference.
fit. He might fit better for their
Yeah.
offense than he did in the New York.
Well, and
Coaching's
there's a lot of
doing things a
similarities
little bit
between.
different.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between his good season in the with the Giants, when Saquon was still playing and stuff
Yeah,
and
when he
having
had a running back.
a season.
Hmm.
To now, yeah. So I mean, if he's got a good running game, and that you could say that about any quarterback.
But I will
Um,
say he also got in Indianapolis. He also has a slew of better weapons to me, like Pittman, and
sure.
um, they got a pretty good, solid tight end out there. I mean, Indianapolis has a decent, core of receivers for him to throw to, but it's just a better scheme fit. They probably done simplified the game plan for him, and
Yeah.
they ain't asking him
What
to do too much. They just asking him to,
I think
you
that's
know
what
what
it
I'm saying?
is. It comes down to what they're asking him to do,
Mhm.
and it's able to be balanced.
Hmm.
Um, and but then we have to look and see. Well, okay, now the Giants have started Jackson Dart, and he looked really good. And
Yeah, he did look
if
good.
he did,
Against a
and
solid team, yeah. The
yeah,
Chargers are supposed to be like
Yeah.
the best, one of the best teams in the NFL this year.
teams in the AFC, yeah,
Mhm.
and and Jackson Dart looked good. Now I'm wondering if it's because if I have a rookie like Jackson Dart, and I'm the and especially if I'm Brian Daboll, I'm on the hot seat either way, right? I
Hmm.
go out there and I say, hey man, just go out there and have fun, like be loose, play your game. I just let him play because what do I have to lose at this point,
Yeah.
right? If I'm coaching, but I feel like maybe what happened was maybe Daniel Jones had that opportunity, and when you don't, like you, Adrian, you alluded to the fact that he didn't have any weapons there, and it was kind of the pressure was all on him. It's easier to let loose when you know that you have weapons, right?
Hmm.
It's easier to do that because it's now I know I got a receiver that can create some separation. Now he had Malik Neighbors last year, but Neighbors did battle some injuries on and off. But there were times where things flourished between the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Malik Neighbors is out for the rest of the season.
That's
Right.
so
Yeah.
terrible. Boy,
Yeah,
that's bad.
that sucks.
I'm gonna tell you, not to cut you off real quick, but I'm gonna tell you who's exciting to watch. That
Who's
running back,
that?
Scatterboo, whatever his name
Oh,
is.
Oh, right.
from Arizona
Yeah,
State.
that
Arizona
dude.
State.
Yeah,
Yep.
that dude is in. I
Right.
like watching him.
Yep.
Boy, I like that little boy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got a lot of heart out there, boy. He be
yeah,
Well,
going.
you saw that
yeah.
one
I
during
like him.
the college football finals last year.
Against
Yeah,
against Texas, against UT.
yeah, yeah.
Like that was the first time I had actually got a chance to watch him play, and I was like, "Dang,
That
this
man
guy's got
hungry,
some
man.
fight."
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
is hungry out there. That boy's
yeah,
hungry. I'm like, whoa, where he come from? Okay, I like
yeah,
I like old boy. I like him out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
New York
for
got some
sure.
nice little talent. They got some pieces.
yeah. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be too discouraged if I was a Giants fan right now, or a Jets fan. I mean, I think both have upside but
Hmm.
yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah. Jackson Dart looked good, and he looked good against the
Yeah,
yeah,
he
Chargers.
did. He
He
did.
didn't
He
play
really
it
did.
yeah.
Against a
chump.
good team, yeah.
Yeah,
Against a good team.
especially after
Have
losing
we
the first.
seen
Yeah,
have we seen Tyreek Hill play his last game with the Miami
damn,
Dolphins?
that
He
was
might as well.
the way he was smiling when he
Yeah.
was being carted underneath. That
That's
was
what I was thinking.
weird,
I was
man.
Might as
like,
much.
he
That's
is
it.
too happy
That's
about
it.
Yeah,
this.
He was
just
ready to leave last year. You seen it when he made that statement.
oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
especially after he
why
got
they even.
arrested going to the game and stuff.
Yeah,
It
when
seemed
he
like
yeah,
didn't
he was
make it, when
just
they didn't make the playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah, he
It
was
almost
gone.
seemed like he was like, "Oh, thank God, this is all over now." You know,
yeah.
Hmm.
It does.
man,
I mean, I feel
Hated
bad
that's
for
the
him because
injury
you
that you
don't.
got. You
Yeah,
know what
you
I'm
don't want
saying?
it to be. Did you see it? That
it
was
was ugly.
ugly.
But that was.
Yeah,
I wish they.
Uh,
I did the TV coverage was respectful, but then you go
yeah.
to Twitter and God,
And then that's
if you
where I
want to
saw
see
uh,
it.
something messed up, don't go to
yeah,
Twitter.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want to
It's gonna be
see.
all over Twitter.
Oh
yeah,
man, I
Hmm.
just
yeah,
all of a sudden I'm seeing 14 straight videos of that
yeah.
leg doing what it did.
Um.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we saw Dallas and Green Bay end in a tie,
That's
and
so funny.
yeah, it is 40-40.
And that's where you're
um,
just like, I don't even understand this season.
Both
that's
teams
that.
took an L.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
so.
A tie is a loss. Yeah, I agree.
I don't never look at that as a
Well,
win. Both of y'all took an L. That's what
Tie is
happened.
never a win.
well,
It's always a
isn't
loss.
it ironic that Micah Parsons sacked Dak Prescott to like kind of end it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah. Well,
I'm
was
pretty
it a
sure it's pretty
sack?
funny, but yeah.
You could
yeah,
debate on it, but it
they called
doesn't
it a
matter
sack.
at the end. Yeah, stat wise, it's a sack. So, but
Yeah, it wasn't
it's
really,
just
but it
kind of it
was.
is kind of an irony the
It's
situation
like
like
when a
this.
quarterback throws a pass and the wide receiver has it, but then it pops up and then it's intercepted. The
Yeah,
interception goes on the quarterback,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah,
kind of similar to that. Like it's not
yeah. They
really
ain't
a
gonna put it.
sack, but it is a sack. So
Yeah, he got
technically,
him. Yeah, he got him. But yeah, it
yeah,
is kind of an ironic situation
yeah, it
that
was.
y'all ending a tie when he sacked Dak Prescott to kind of end the game,
Yeah, yeah,
or to kind of put them in a position to have to make a field goal
right,
instead of
exactly.
scoring a touchdown. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of funny, but they it was a good game. I will say it
D-
was an interesting game
yeah.
overall. I just don't know what Green Bay had
I don't know what
all the
happened.
momentum, bro.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah,
all the momentum,
all
and
of it.
then they just let Dallas just man, they let Pickens go off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Pickens stepped up. Yeah, I mean
Now I
Pickens
tell
stepped
you
up.
that I don't know how Dak does it sometimes. And see, I'm not a Dak fan, but he do something every now and then that gets you be like, you how? When he
Yeah,
threw that pass on the run off it going backwards
yeah.
and threw that mug 40 yards downfield and old boy caught it. Was it Turpin? I think it was Turpin or who was it that came out of the end zone and then he
Turban.
caught it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he caught.
yeah,
I was like, you're throwing this off your back foot, bro. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Hmm.
like a quarterback no,
yeah,
and you threw it that far, and the dude made a hell of a play. I couldn't say
yeah.
nothing. I'm like,
Well, I don't think we've
that's a
ever
hell of a catch.
questioned. I don't ever think we've questioned Dak Prescott's strength as a thrower. I don't think we've questioned whether he was a good passer or not because he obviously is, right? I
Yeah,
think we've questioned in certain positions that he gets careless. I
yeah,
Yeah.
think
I mean that's
that's
true.
been
That's
He
very
just
true.
he carried on the Tony Romo tradition, I think,
Yeah,
exactly
where
like that's
great
where you're
regular
just like,
season
man, you
quarterback.
are one of
Tony
the
Romo.
best quarterbacks in the NFL. And then, but then you just like scratching your head at the end of the game. Because like, how did you lose that game? You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it almost
yeah,
seems like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how Dak's career has been as well.
yeah.
Because
that's
when he's healthy, because you could tell last year when he was hurt that he was hurt. And then
yeah,
starting out this season, you could tell that he was healthy again. And when he's healthy, he makes plays like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
'Cause he
But
just,
let's also and this is gonna be a rare thing for us, but give Dallas credit for
all right.
actually developing a run game
Right.
yes,
because that
yes.
has
Yeah.
helped
That's
them so
been
much
yes,
Yeah.
that game. Williams was he looked like man, they got one now. That boy was
yeah,
just bouncing off of people, dragging.
mm,
I
yeah,
said, okay, now we know what Dallas has been. This is what y'all been
Yeah.
missing anyway. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
It
saying?
hurts
It's
to
not
see him playing for them.
any
Yeah.
other time Dallas has been extremely good. They've always had a good running game. They've
Hmm.
always had
yeah.
a balance between offense and passing
Right.
and running.
Historically, that's how it's been.
Yeah, and that's always been for Dallas. So
Yeah.
I give him kudos. They found a little gem out there because that dude was looking real nice, and he was
Hmm.
causing fits on Green Bay, especially at the end of the game.
Yeah.
He was giving hell.
Yeah.
So that would be the first, probably the one and only praise that Dallas is gonna get this year.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Hey, y'all make the
that's
play.
your
Y'all
one.
make the
That's a
playoffs and y'all
few.
win the game. I'll be like, I'm off. But
That's right.
outside of that, just make sure your
Do y'all
owner
like
stays out of the damn media. That's all I
do
want,
y'all
man.
like ties? Do y'all like games ending in ties?
No,
I don't
No.
either.
Like,
no.
yeah, like Adrian
I
said,
want to see a
I'm
winner.
like a win.
You know what I'm saying? I
Me too.
think that if anything, I like the new format. Both teams get a chance to score in
Yeah.
overtime. I do like that. But what I would like to see if it's gonna end in a tie,
A
go
kickoff.
to either kickoff or go college route. Regulation
Yeah, I
after
was
like
gonna
the
say that's
third
what I was gonna
or
suggest.
something like in college,
Yep.
y'all could do 2-point conversions from here on out. We right here line up
Yep.
one play.
Yep.
Both teams get
Till
a
till
chance to
somebody
score.
wins it. Yep.
It's like a sudden death. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? First team score. This team scores.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another chance. Boom, and y'all just do it for one play.
Well, that's
Yeah.
where you bring in that 70-yard field goal thing that we were talking about last week.
Yeah,
Line
that's
them up,
Or
true.
yeah.
put it on a tee at the 40-yard line on the other side, and whichever kicker can put it through the uprights, then
I,
you win.
I think Tampa Bay unlocked their kicker because that man hit a 65-yarder going into halftime. At
Yeah.
that 65-yard field goal, I said, "Whoa, he still have room to go." I'm
Go.
thinking to
Yeah.
myself, "That is you got a weapon now." So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm from now on, me as the coach. How long is this field
Yeah.
goal?
Yeah.
65? Oh yeah, go ahead, put him in.
Yeah.
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 Go
Don't even
ahead, put
have
him
to
in.
get to
Hey,
midfield. Yep.
S-
We're at the 45.
Well,
Go ahead, bring the kicker out. Score 3
yeah.
points
well,
for
we
12 straight drives. That's 36 points.
you could do overtime, right? And
Yeah.
then do it regularly. And if it's tied at the end of that, you have the kicker start at the
Penalty kicks.
45. If both of them make it,
It's like soccer, a kickoff.
Yeah.
yeah. If both of them make it, it goes to the 50. If both
There
of them
you
make
go.
that,
See,
it
that
goes to
would.
the 55,
There you go.
and
That's
so
actually
on and
pretty
so
good.
forth until
That
one
sounds pretty
misses.
good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
actually
would.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
way, I'll be happy with either way as long as the game doesn't end a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, that also gives kickers more purpose to me
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
They're more
you ain't
important.
going
Yeah.
now and yeah, you're more important now at the end of the game. If this ends in a tie,
Yeah.
we got no other choice but to rely on your foot to win this for us.
Mhm.
Well,
So
it
I do
it
like that.
wouldn't be fair for me not to mention that idea about the kickoff came from a coworker. Shout out, my partner Jay Salinas. I'm gonna shout you out, man. That was his idea. He brought that up to me today,
Yeah,
and
that's a
and
dope
so
one.
I was
Yeah.
like, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a
that'll make
really
it.
good
That'll be
one.
very creative. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
like that. I would like that.
yeah,
Those
That'd
are
be
the only
fun.
two
That'd be
ways.
fun to
That's
watch.
all I
Maybe
will say.
let's practice that in the
yeah,
preseason or something
Just
next year.
yeah,
no
yeah.
more
Like,
ties. Ties are whack.
yeah,
I
ties
want to
are
see
whack.
somebody
Yeah.
Ties,
Yeah.
win.
Think
Like
of the
yeah,
no
alternative.
more ties.
yeah, for sure. I mean, because at the end of the season, I mean, I guess it can matter in a sense, but I just hate to see like a team and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, they're 6-2-1. You know what I mean? Or it just
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
It makes everything
I
so
like
weird.
right now.
You got
I'm looking at it like y'all
tiebreakers.
both took a L.
Yeah.
Y'all both took a
Yeah.
L to me. I
Well,
don't do
yeah,
ties.
yeah.
Y'all both lost.
nobody's a fan of tie-in, so I don't see why
Yeah.
people do
Oh
it.
yeah. Like
It
ties are
kind of
only like
sours it.
really only a thing in what sport are ties? Like okay,
Track and
none.
field.
Well, in hockey they have lots of ties.
Yeah, you have lots of
Yeah, they
ties in
do.
hockey, but
Yeah,
that's
hockey they do.
so that's kind of a different scenario.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't want to see him in hockey.
No,
No,
I get it.
Give me a face
in
off. Y'all go
hockey I
ahead
understand
and
because
smack
they
I
the
get
don't
goals
it.
in.
have. Yeah, I mean, hockey went to like this 4-on-4 thing and overtime and stuff, which is really fun. Four
Yeah,
on four for hockey is
it
exciting.
is. It's so exciting.
It's so fast, and that's
Yeah,
always exciting. But yeah, same thing. I don't know why they just don't go to like play 5 minutes in overtime, and if you don't settle it, then do a shootout. You've
Yeah,
got
shootout.
goalies.
yeah,
You've got you've got an opportunity for the most exciting thing in sports, I think, or one of the most exciting things in sports, and that's a shootout, whether it's hockey or soccer or anything. So why
Yeah.
not?
yeah,
What's the worst thing
Mhm.
that's going to happen? You're going to get more viewers. So
That might be too bad. Too much.
yeah,
Too many
more
viewers.
highlights on
We don't
ESPN.
want to
I
do
mean,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
we don't want to do that.
do you want to be
yeah,
relevant? But yeah,
Yeah, like for real. But I like that idea. That kicking idea
I
that's a
do
dope
like.
idea. I
Yeah,
would take that.
everybody had a good.
yeah,
If they never did go with that, my other alternative would just be line up one play, like a 2-point conversion,
Yeah,
hmm
and one team scores, the other team comes back, they line up for one play. They got to
yeah,
score. So it's just
yeah,
gonna trade back and off, back and forth, back and forth.
yeah,
And I think that's the best way to settle it. You
yeah,
can't sit there and say, "Oh, I didn't get a chance." You got stopped. Guess
yeah,
yeah.
what? You
mhm,
lost.
yeah, yeah,
So I like that. I like that. So, but here's the thing, right? They mentioned the NFL trying to, in terms of safety and the players get exhausted and it leads to more injuries and stuff like that. And that could potentially lead to more injuries.
Yeah, that's why
Um,
hockey does it too. Yeah, that's why they're
yeah,
tied to
right,
hockey.
right, right. And I get it, right? But I think maybe this is selfish of me as a fan. If I go pro, right, I understand that this is my job. Um, they're paying me a lot of money to do
Mm-hmm.
this, right? To risk my body. That's part of it, right? So like as a business, I get where they stand because the NFL is a $1 billion industry. I get they want healthy players, right? I'm totally for that. But as a fan, again, it's selfish. I want to see a finished product. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
like hockey's different because we know how long it could take to score in hockey, right?
Well, they
It's
play
totally
82
different
games too. Yeah,
product. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
amount of games that they
Yeah.
play,
That
right?
makes
And
sense.
and 2 or 3 times a week, right? And so, but the NFL, you're playing once a week. Sometimes you'll have a short week if you got a Thursday night game, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like the injury thing is like, man, they know what they're getting into, and maybe that's not right. Maybe that's
I
wrong.
mean, let's
You
just be
know,
honest. Do you really think an athlete, most of the athletes, really care about that? The ones that actually care about playing sport, for the love of the sport. I mean, you got some of them that definitely care if they get injured or not. So you could tell
sure.
definitely that,
yeah. But the
they
ones
make
that
a business
care get
decision.
out the game early. Look at
Yeah.
Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck knew this.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm at
Yeah.
this rate. I'm not going to be healthy
But
by the
like you
time I'm
said,
30.
you know what you signed up for. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think athletes like a tie?
No, I
No,
don't think
As
anybody likes
competitive as these players usually
it. Yeah,
are, they don't care
me
for
too.
no tie. They want to
Especially
win.
it's not
You play to win
Japan.
the game.
yeah,
Exactly.
And that's
yeah,
what they want to do. So if they want to go out there and give it their all, however long it takes to win, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we could sit here and we see this is the thing that I have a problem with when it comes to like I get it. I don't want to see nobody get injured either.
yeah.
But you can get injured on the first play of the game
Yeah,
or on the last play of the game.
or in triple
True.
overtime. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you played the full game or you didn't.
Yeah,
Fatigue's gonna set in. Yes, we can
Yeah.
get more injuries when you retire. This is true. But at the same time, we've seen people getting injured in practice.
Yeah.
yeah,
And pull and be having ACL tears and stuff like that, not even doing anything. Like
Yeah.
you can be injured at any given time.
Be on the
And I
treadmill.
understand, like when I be sitting there, I understand safety rules as far as like you don't want nobody having concussions or anything like that. So you don't want these players to have serious injuries. You
yeah,
know they're gonna get dinged up because you're playing a contact sport. You just can't
Yeah.
get around it. You're playing a
Mhm.
contact sport. You
yeah,
see linemen get injured all the time, and half of them they're not getting injured because somebody didn't. They get injured because somebody done landed on the back of their foot, their
yeah.
leg,
Rolled.
something
They
like
get
that.
rolled up on.
They're
Right.
usually kind of at the bottom of the pile, especially in the when you running through the trenches and stuff like that. All of these things are going to happen. It's just part of the game.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
I can understand. And these athletes, they still play because they want to win. They're playing for a reason. They're playing for money, but they also want to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, let them play. If they want
Yeah.
to go through these little things and not have a tie, let them play. The NFL, like you said, you play once a week. Some teams only have, 4 days because they play on a Thursday night. Most teams resting for a full week. You might go
Yeah.
through little practices or whatever, walkthroughs and things like that, but you're resting
yeah.
for most of your week.
Yeah.
At least trying to anyway. I
Right,
never
right.
played, so I don't know how vigorous everything is, but as far as that, but at the same time, it's just like when you look at it, it's like they're trying to prep themselves up every single week to try to play a game.
Yeah,
Now if they were on some like how you said with hockey, you play 82 games. That's a lot
yeah.
of games to be
It's a
playing,
lot of
getting hit
games.
up against
Mhm.
you getting checked against the wall or something. And hockey is a contact sport. You know what I'm saying? And you going 20 to 30 miles an hour on some skates. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's easy to get roughed up in hockey. They play
Oh yeah.
82 games. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, like how you said in hockey, they play too many games to really kind of. So I understand the ties. Do
Right.
I like to see the ties? No, I would like to see them shoot out or something like that. That'd be
Yeah.
great. But it is what it is because I can understand that. No, that's a lot of games to be getting. And 16 and 17 is still a lot of games to go through constantly contact, 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 contact.
Yeah.
I understand the investment, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, we've seen what happened with the league when they started trying to go overprotective of players.
Yeah.
Viewership
Well,
started dropping because
also,
like the kickoff.
yeah.
When they
Yeah.
went with the kickoff and it started going out of bounds and nobody wanted to watch that junk no more. Like it's
Yeah.
not
But then
it
they
was
had to come
once
up with
one
a
of the
system that
most
worked.
yeah, it was once one of the more exciting things to watch. And when
Yeah.
you're seeing people run it back, that's exciting to watch. But then you took away that, and now it's kind of like this is pointless. People don't want to see that. I don't want to see you kick the ball out in the end zone
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
Well,
But the new
since
system
Start at the
is great.
25.
I
yeah,
like the new
because it
system.
forces people to return the ball now.
Sure.
Yeah, and I like the new system. So
It's
it's a
fun, yeah.
great change.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. But it is also too. You look at, they say they want to protect the players, and they say that they're, but then you added another game to the regular season, and
yeah.
Yeah.
let's be real. We know what that's about. That's money. That's TV
Well,
deals. That's
Yeah.
and to be fair, if people really paid attention, technically they technically didn't add an extra game
because they took away
because
a
they took
preseason
the
game.
preseason game and they just made it start with instead of
But
4 preseason games you
who's
had 3.
playing in the preseason games? People trying to make the team.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
but they used to be that fourth preseason game. Your
Oh,
starters would be out there a lot
see it
more
more full
than
game.
the
Yeah.
backups.
Some teams, yeah.
Most teams back in the
Yeah.
day was
Yeah.
There
like
was
that.
like,
Your
yeah.
starters were getting like 90% of the game rep in that
Hmm.
final preseason game because the first 3 was kind of like the first preseason was always like they might get a drive or
One
two,
drive.
then
Yeah.
they out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Then this became like they might do a full quarter, then they out. Then they might go into a halftime, then they
Yeah.
out. And in that last preseason, they playing first, second, third quarter, and
Hmm.
then the fourth
Fair
quarter,
enough.
kind of like, yeah, we're out.
Fair
You
enough.
know, either way it goes,
Yeah.
yeah, you still added another season, another week of full contact starters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, they weren't getting
What was
paid
it?
during the preseason anyway.
Huh?
They're not getting paid during preseason games. The
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Um.
probably another reason why they cut it short.
That's
That
that's why
too.
they're not
Players probably
complaining
got
about
mad.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah. I Another thing I wanted to mention, man. It kind of, I don't know why I got so mad about it. So Monday I woke up, right, and I know Gary is gonna feel the same way I feel about this. Monday I woke up and I just turned on some sports radio or whatever. And all of a sudden, these people are acting like Kansas City is the greatest team again, right? It's
Oh
like,
God.
oh, they're back. Like that's what I heard Monday. I'm on my way to work. I turn
They
on
won a
Sirius
game.
Radio and I go to sports, and it's like they're back, and they look like themselves again, or all of that. And I'm like, they played
They
the
look
worst
good for a
defense in the
game.
league.
Well,
And
that's
they
it.
look good for a
Yeah.
game.
Sports
Yeah, they
media.
did get Xavier Worthy back though. They did get him back.
Sure, he looked
But
good
it's
too. But yeah,
but
sports
it's
media's job is to make things bigger than they are. I mean, they
I,
basically play from week
but
to
it's
week. Big
frustrating.
picture, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, especially if you
If
watch
they
it.
don't,
If you
if
watch
if
like
if,
first
if they
take
don't get that
or
Mahomes
yeah,
peen out of their mouth, it's a little graphic. Sorry, I had to do it, but that's what it is, man. Let's call a spade, man. Come on now.
they
That's like,
yeah, the media wants the Chiefs to be relevant. I mean,
yeah.
they benefit so much from a relevant Chiefs team.
Only thing that I'm happy that I haven't been seeing, maybe I just ain't been paying much attention to it anymore. Forgive me. They're not talking about Taylor Swift and Kelsey
Oh, tell it,
every
yeah,
time they're on
yeah,
TV now. So
Yeah,
far.
so
So
far,
yeah,
far.
so far.
I know they're
yeah.
supposed to be getting married or they got married, whatever they got going on, but whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, yeah, they need to stop with this Chief.
Yeah.
It's like
And
Philly's undefeated. Talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
They're
Philly's like
bad.
not a good undefeated team either.
No,
They
they're
haven't
not.
even really played
That's
well.
how they were like last year. They were kind of like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
same
I mean,
yeah.
way.
they've benefited from some missed calls, like, and some look, I don't not even just against the Rams.
Yeah, they
Not
did it against KC too. Yeah,
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 So I mean, not even just against the Rams, like Philly. So like, if you're gonna and look, Philly fans will call me a hater for sure, but if we're gonna talk about if we want to talk about some teams
Yeah,
and
the Chiefs.
we want to be authentic, we have to talk about the teams that are surprising us and that are playing above the expectations. The Colts, talk about them more. Talk about Denver Broncos. Even though we expected them to be good, I feel like they don't talk about Bo Nix enough.
No,
Like,
yeah. Well, and
this is
he's warming
facts.
up too. Yeah, I mean, we talked about
yeah,
that. They're
Yeah,
Sean Payton's not a good beginning of the season coach.
he's never has
His
been.
record in like
Yeah,
September is 500. He
yeah,
seems to
he's never been.
wait
Yeah,
till the
that
yeah,
goes back to New Orleans.
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But you're
but
right though. I would love for
Yeah,
the media to just open up the books. There's more than just one or two teams that you want to talk
yeah,
about, like
talk
or
yeah.
talk about Seattle.
it's just
I
like
don't care.
the problem really is like
Or San Diego. Yeah.
the teams that you
Yeah,
should be talking about being surprises, like you say, Indianapolis. But you know what ends up happening? They're going to talk about KC all year long. They're going to talk about Buffalo. They're going to talk about the Ravens, whether they're doing bad or good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to talk about the Cowboys.
but they talk about the Cowboys because Jerry Jones
I
has
don't care why.
mastered. Jerry Jones has mastered
They need to
that
stop.
pocket of media. He's
They need to stop.
mastered it. Like whether it's good or bad,
Just
he
let them
is
have it.
mastered a way for them to continuously talk about the Cowboys.
And
And
that's my problem. And that's my point.
well, here's another thing that we
You
have to
can
factor in.
move.
You have to go back
You
to
know
the
what I'm
Herschel
saying?
Walker days, and you have to talk about. So remember, before we had all these streaming services and we could watch every game, you got to remember you had your NFC game, you had your AFCs, and you only had two games on TV. Well, the NFC game, you got to think about mostly in most of the region of the country, and even if you want to go back before the Cardinals were in Arizona, when they were still in St. Louis, the you have to go and you have so many Cowboy fans because the only team that people were able to watch was the Cowboys
Well,
for a lot of
that's
the
a
country.
hey,
I mean,
I
the Saints were
understand.
bad. Nobody wanted to sit and watch the Saints.
I know they had bags over their heads. Nobody, I mean,
Yeah,
who that
so
nation? They
everybody
trying to
watched
figure
the
out who that
Cowboys.
was. I mean, that might be true, but we don't live in that era no more.
Right.
We don't,
So
when
well,
Jerry Jones
so
bought the team,
I
but when
don't.
Jerry Jones bought the
Hey,
team,
you trying to
he
make
mastered.
excuses for the media to be able to talk about the Cowboys? I said specifically they need to talk about these other teams that are actually doing something. You know what I'm saying? That is actually worth
No,
talking
I
about.
agree.
Like
I
I
agree.
don't
I
want to see.
agree.
I don't care what Jerry Jones is doing. He ain't playing football.
Well,
So
I agree
that's
with
just
you.
what I'm saying when it comes to the media. I wish they would shut up about the Cowboys
Yeah, I'm
until
with
they're
you.
doing something good that's worth to talk about.
I'm
And
with you.
that's just where I'm at because it's like let's just be real. Like some of these small, what ended up being good for Kansas City is them winning the Super Bowl, getting Patrick Mahomes, and all that stuff. But it took a small market team and made it bigger.
Yeah,
Kansas City has always had a fan base, but they
huge
weren't
fan base.
really like what they are, quote unquote now because bandwagon jumpers is always that way. But
Yeah. Well, that's how
Kansas
the
City
Warriors
got
were so popular for a couple of years there too.
yeah,
Yeah,
so you got and it's great for teams like that. But then like Indianapolis had a buzz for a while because of Peyton Manning, that the
yeah,
squads that then they buzz going with. It's just great to talk about the teams that are actually relevant to winning.
Mhm.
Like I haven't heard much of anything about Indianapolis coach, like you saying, and they got Daniel Jones. That's a story.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
They
true. That's a
doing
story.
really
And they
good.
got
That's a
the
And they
story.
three
have the leading
daughters
rusher
that
in
are
the league.
that are leading the
Yeah,
team after their dad
but you're not
died.
you're not hearing
It's
they're not doing a lot of pushing of that at all.
which is
You
Yeah,
running with
surprising
the big
because
market teams.
yeah. But
Yeah, go
Pat
ahead.
McAfee is one of the biggest voices in sports right now,
Yes,
and
he
he's
is for
based out of
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. So why?
Indianapolis.
I
Mhm.
That's
mean,
true. That's
that's all he used to talk about were the Pacers, and when they went to the finals and stuff. And why
yeah,
And the
aren't why
Colts,
aren't they
he's
talking
always had
about?
something to say.
You played for the
That's
Colts for
that's just
yeah, they're
yeah, and that is just my point right there. It's just like, come on, man. Like how you said, let's talk about some of these other things,
about
these other
some other team.
storylines that get
Yeah,
things moving. The things
mm,
that's been clouding it's the Ravens being bad, which we know that's a storyline because we didn't expect that.
yeah.
Pittsburgh, they have always been a storyline because there's just as many Steelers fans as there are
But
Cowboy
they
fans
haven't
Pittsburgh
been a
isn't now.
storyline
but
this
it
year as
hasn't
much as
been
they
that
should be.
not as big as the. You're right. You're right. But they have been in the headlines a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then Kansas City's always in the headlines. Now, granted, we haven't had as much Cowboy headline, but you have because you get the by proxy headlines for the Cowboys because of Michael Parsons going to Green
Mhm.
Bay. So
yeah.
then it's that storyline of okay,
Which
Michael
was so
Parsons doing this
systematic.
good. Yeah, exactly. So Michael Parsons doing this good in Green Bay, or this is going on in Green Bay. Can't wait till we see him play the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Type stuff. So it's like you get a Cowboys newsletter even in Green Bay
Yeah,
because of Michael
exactly.
Parsons.
Well,
So,
and here's what was a trip, right? This trade happened after the schedule, right, was already
hmm
made. So they
yeah.
knew they were playing the Cowboys. You don't think Jerry Jones knew that?
Well, and I think the Cowboys and Packers is a game that they always schedule anyways, just
Yeah,
because
it
that's such
is.
a
It
Anyway,
is.
yeah,
It's
historic,
a it's
because
a it's
it,
a
big,
high.
big
It's a
matchup.
historic
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
you
it's
know,
just like shows. I would love to see some love being showed to other teams that are actually doing well. And like nobody's
I
talking
agree.
about Jacksonville. You really ain't talking about them outside of watching Travis Hunter to see if he's gonna play both sides of the ball. And
Yeah.
even that story ain't even
ain't that
popping.
should be something bigger
So yeah. So like,
because he's been a lockdown corner this season.
see, so
Nobody knows it.
I did not know that
Yeah,
you're not.
he's been
It's not
solid.
news. It's
because
not
we're
gonna
not
be any
talking
news.
about
You know
it.
what I'm saying? It's like it's sad. It's sad. But hey, even now we sitting here. I brought up the Cowboys in there, and
Yeah.
even in our talk show here. But
Yeah,
Well, in the conversations that kind of monopolized the first couple of weeks were like the Dolphins, were just
yeah,
dead on their feet.
trash.
They were
yeah,
trash and they need to fire their coach and all this other stuff. And they were playing good the last couple of weeks. I mean, Tyreek Hill was playing some inspired ball, I thought, just from what I saw until he,
yeah,
foot did what it did, on the sidelines the other
yeah.
day. But, I mean, yeah. Why did we give up? Why aren't we giving them a little bit of credit? Because they're playing better than
hmm
Yeah,
the first couple
yeah,
of weeks.
even that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just a
There's so many
lot of different
there's so
like
many potential
there's so
storylines.
many storylines
Tampa.
you could touch on. I was about
Yeah.
to say Tampa Bay is another one. They've been playing really
Yeah.
Yeah,
good ball.
Nobody
They
talking about
yeah,
Baker. Yeah. He's an
yeah,
MVP
so
candidate. Why are we talking about Baker?
it's so many storylines that can go on, but we get stuck on the same teams. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't even watch. I usually like to watch like my first take in the morning or something. I kind of don't even watch it. I saw something just the other day with Stephen A. did his little A list and he had Kansas City up there as the number 4 best team in the league right now. And I'm like, where did you get that after one game?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
and I'm
that's where
like,
I'm at. Like
Tampa
that.
Bay
It's
ain't up there. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't Tampa Bay up there? They played a really good game. They look good.
Mhm.
yeah.
Kansas City looked good for
Forced
one game.
narratives, man.
Yeah.
Forced narratives.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's
Forced
terrible.
narratives. Yeah. Because if I'm well, let's just say this, right? I understand this the huge sports medias. They have a certain agenda and they have a certain thing that they have to follow and all of that, right? I look at numbers for our what we do, right? And when we
hmm
talk about Dallas, if I have a clip about Dallas, it always goes over like 1.1, 1.2, right? People, it does. If we talk
Because they
about
want to see what you're
LeBron,
saying about them.
right? If we talk about LeBron, we're gonna get over 1,000 views. I know that, right? These are things that I know. So obviously they do the same things, right?
Yeah.
But but like we're not doing that like on purpose. I'm not saying, well, let's talk about them because I could go a whole show and not talk about Dallas, right? We've
That's
done
a
that,
fact.
right?
That's real easy.
Easy,
Mhm.
but it's and so for them it's like we have to. For us, we don't. We're doing this for fun. We just enjoy it, and we're not no huge thing. We're just some guys that like to talk about sports as fans, right?
Yeah,
But
facts.
but in my mind, I'm looking at these huge media networks are more for like the casual fan, right? I could be wrong, but it seems to be catered more to the casual fan
Oh yeah,
because
it's definitely.
they'll push the certain stories. For me, I've gotten bored watching those. I no longer watch them because all you're doing is talking about the same thing, same thing, same thing, the
All day
same
long.
people, same teams,
Well,
Yep,
and it
all
all
day
seems
long.
like,
day.
and they're just trying to capture the moment that they can then share on social media or something like that. That hot take that they can
Right.
share on
Yeah.
social media, and the rest of it's just nonsense. I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's and that's the thing, man. That's like I would appreciate if they talked more about this Rory McIlroy thing with golf. But
yeah,
nobody that's a
that
big
Ryder Cup
deal and
crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
embarrassed
yeah,
about that.
yeah. That was
I
Like
actually
bullshit.
don't
the
even
way they
have.
treated him was so disrespectful. That was so bad, and I feel really bad about how he was treated and some of the things that they said to him.
Hmm.
And this is a golfing event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought
And
golf was supposed to be more classy than that, but
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. And so but I haven't seen hardly nothing about that.
You're right,
On
because this is the
the
first time I've
bigger
heard about it.
right. You know, on any of the bigger networks. I would think they want to push that in terms of a story. But then also, then what does that do? That kind of makes, I think that's what we're afraid of the backlash because then that makes us as a country kind of look bad.
Too late. But
you know,
it's neither nor there.
sometimes sometimes you have to look in the mirror. You got to take a big look in the
Yeah,
mirror. And
literally.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't show a little bit of self reflection and own your mistakes, because I believe that was a huge mistake. I believe that was, I mean, golf is supposed to be about etiquette, and
Yeah.
they totally messed up. I mean, the Ryder Cup's never going to be the same because they're never going to want to play in the United States again. And
Again, yeah.
that's
Nobody.
how many fans are going to lose out who are legit
Mm.
golf fans, not just drunks, who
Yeah.
happen to show up, and want to make a fool out of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the ramifications of that we're going to see, and it's something that should be talked about,
Yeah.
at length,
Yeah.
because you're never going to see a Roy McIlroy in the Ryder Cup in the United States ever again, and
Nope. He said that.
yeah, how many real golf fans are missing out now because of
Yeah.
just a bunch of idiots.
On possibly seeing. I mean, Rory McIlroy is one of the greats. He's solidified himself
Yeah.
already. He's at a younger age. He's solidified himself as one of the greatest golfers.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, there's some genuine golf fans that are now going to miss that opportunity
Mm-hmm.
because a handful of buttholes,
Yeah.
that
I,
were totally disrespectful.
yeah, I can't even believe that. I mean, where was the
Yeah,
security? There's
yeah.
so
Like
many.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, exactly.
N-
They need to.
nobody nobody tried to intervene and get these guys
Act.
to
Yeah.
you know
Mm-hmm.
and but that's a story that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
That's something as a sports fan and
Mm-hmm.
somebody that keeps up with golf and watches golf. Those are that's what I want to see. And maybe that is boring to the casual fan.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. But fortunately, we have other outlets now
Yeah.
that will highlight those kind of things. That's why I do this. First of all, it is therapeutic. It's cool to sit and talk to my friends about
Yeah.
sports. I love
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right? but also it is to kind of highlight some of those things. Right? It
Hmm.
is to. I'm so happy to have Gary on to help with the baseball because he's more knowledgeable about baseball than me. Right? I've talked about this over and over again. I want baseball to be a popular. I want and it's not to say that it's unpopular, but I want
Hmm.
baseball to be talked about, right?
Mhm.
Baseball was the first sport that I knew as a kid growing up right over, as a kid being born on the other side of the Mississippi River, on the other
Mhm.
side in Illinois, and Cardinal, everybody around me was a Cardinals fan, my grandparents and all of that. And that, me going to see Cardinal games and stuff like that, that was what I knew. But like
Oh,
baseball was the
yeah.
first thing,
Well,
right?
Cardinals baseball is big. I mean, you talk about how big the Yankees are in the Bronx. The Cardinals
Yeah.
are just as big in the St.
Oh
Louis.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
St. Louis
It's just
fans
like
are
And
it's just like the Braves
demons.
in Georgia.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All my relatives and stuff, they'll
Yeah.
sit down and they watching Braves games when it come
Yeah.
on. Like that's all they would do. Like it's Braves, or they might watch tennis and football. But if a football game's on and the Braves are playing, more than likely they're probably gonna watch the Braves game. I mean,
Hmm.
That's awesome.
unless Georgia's playing, but like in
Right.
college. But other than that, it's a huge thing in
Mhm.
down in Georgia as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
baseball is it's America's pastime sport. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
what people grew up with before NFL
Mhm.
became, popular or whatever. That was it. And that's what
Yeah.
you
Well,
watched.
Baseball.
That was what you
Hmm.
did.
and before ESPN, there used to be an end of a season so you could enjoy the other sport, you know? I mean,
Hmm.
Hmm.
the NFL is like 20, it's 12 months a year now. It's 365.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
always something happening. And
they're
Yeah.
you
stretching
know,
their hand out.
yeah, yeah. It's so they're doing things that take away the attention from baseball. And baseball's got the playoffs right now, so that's usually when folks really really focus on it and stuff. But yeah, but baseball's coming back. It's making a big comeback. I
It's
think
oh yeah.
I think they're doing a lot of cool things in baseball right now, and a lot of the things that are happening in basketball, because basketball was having a surge in popularity, but I think basketball's kind of coming down a little bit now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this been viewership
The
has been
style of
going down
play
with
and stuff.
basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that just getting rid of a show would have
Would
cost
be
basketball so many viewers?
yeah.
But can you
Yeah.
believe that's the
But
most talked
that's
about
just
thing about next season is how are
Yeah.
we going to survive
in
without
yeah
inside the
inside of the NBA.
But that's
Yeah.
Hmm.
important.
I mean, but let's just be honest. That was one of the,
That was one of the
basketball has
shows.
always been, yeah, basketball has always been
Yeah,
very popular. When it got popular, a lot of those shows made it even more popular because you got to
yeah,
know
yeah,
people. You got to know, like, inside the NBA. That was a
Hmm.
huge show. The one that was the NBC show that used to come on with Ahmad Rashad.
yeah.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
The
Yeah.
NBA
you
on
know,
NBC. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big one back in
with
those
the
days
John
too,
Tesh
like in the
song and stuff
'90s and
at the
stuff like that.
beginning and
Yeah.
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's
Well,
just like
mhm,
basketball benefited a lot from those
mhm.
type of shows. You know what
Well,
I'm
and the
saying?
funny
So
thing is, when you talk about what the media is doing with football and stuff, and all of their, I don't
I
know,
miss NFL prime time.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But
I loved that with Chris Berman. Oh, that was my show. I
well,
loved
that
watching that.
was the NFL when they did the NFL coverage on Sunday mornings with Chris Carter and
Hmm.
Hmm.
who else? It were Tom Jackson. Oh my God, I miss
Yeah,
Tom
Oh
Jackson
yeah,
yeah.
so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and there were smart folks there that were talking about football, and
Hmm.
I like Mina Kimes. I like Clark.
Ryan Clark.
And
Yeah.
I even like
Yeah.
Orlovsky. I think they've got a good crew there. ESPN does with their
Hmm.
NFL crew and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I watched Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long. Even though
It's
they
yeah.
were the big thing. Back in the day.
Yeah.
I will not spend 1 second listening to Phil Sims or Boomer Esiason. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh gosh,
Um, I
yeah.
sometimes I make
Or
a
Chris
mistake
Sims.
to that
Chris
channel.
Sims might be worse than Phil.
Sims is you're so right. Uh,
Oh man,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then you've
I
got
mean,
the NBA on TNT, and they were doing
yeah,
everything right that everybody else was doing wrong, and
yeah.
they
Oh yeah,
they blew it.
yeah.
The
They
NBA
were
they
they were
wanted
being
wanted
genuine.
more money, and
TNT. What the dude say? He think they didn't need the NBA to. So
right,
okay, and you lost your deal.
Yeah.
But that was one of the biggest shows. I don't think I ever watched TNT outside of the inside the NBA anymore. To
yeah.
be honest
I
with
I
you,
definitely did.
I mean,
Um,
you might didn't they have like don't they have like NASCAR or something like that on there
Didn't
or
they have
in
like
the
wrestling or
wrestling,
something
they
for
have the
the
wrestling.
wrestling?
Yeah.
Well, they used to
They
have
don't even
wrestling.
have
They don't
wrestling
have wrestling
anymore, do
anymore.
they? I mean,
Yeah, they don't. But
No, they
there's
have
no sport.
A&E wrestling. I believe is
Do
on
but
they?
TNT. Yeah.
but the thing is,
Or
I
AEW,
think.
sorry, AEW.
Oh yeah, AEW. The thing is though, like you said, some of the who knows what the future holds in terms of the new shows that they're gonna have for this NBA season. I mean, yes, did they get rid of one of the greatest ones ever? Is that gone? Yeah, I mean, for right now, that's gone. But going back to just like sports media in general and ratings and stuff like that, like I try to encourage people, like when we talk about baseball, they say it's so boring to watch on TV. And I tell them, I say, baseball tickets aren't super expensive. Go to a baseball game, enjoy it in the park, and I bet it changes your mind.
Watching it in person is a different experience.
Yeah.
It's
I
different
like
experience watching baseball in person than it is watching it on TV or
it
anything
is,
like that.
but
It's a different experience.
I think we have to try to, and I don't want to push. I'm not saying we need to like push baseball more, but I've been an advocate for more viewership of baseball, and it's because it was one of the first things that I loved,
Mhm.
right? And so yeah, of course I'm gonna feel that way towards it, and but then it's all these leagues are competing against each other, right? But if you're a soccer fan, you're watching MLS, right? You watch Major
Hmm.
League Soccer. If you're a hockey fan, you're watching NHL, whatever. You're gonna find a way to watch what you are a fan of, right?
Sure.
Um, and um, and I think that's part of with the different leagues. Football is, like you said, it's almost like it's all year round now with how much it's pushed.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more of like an even balance between them all. Now, obviously, that's not realistic. Like all these leagues aren't going to get together and be like, "Hey, how can we be evenly
No,
balanced?"
because
That's
they try to
just not
outdo each other every
No,
single time.
right. Let's
for
just be
attention.
realistic. But I say all that to say this: this show is about all the sports, and we try to highlight what we can. Obviously football and basketball, because of it's what is pushed more, is what we talk about. But I talked about hockey last season because I have season tickets to the Texas Stars, right? I'm a St. Louis Blues fan, but I live here in Texas, so I like hockey. I like to go
Yeah.
watch it, and I love to go watch it in person. Um,
And then
you
on
know,
top of that, I don't watch out more than football and basketball, so
I know,
my
yeah,
knowledge base ain't as deep. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of limit the show a little bit in that way. But that's why I say I like that Gary has joined us because it helps a lot with me learning more about it. Like
yeah,
following like who
yeah,
y'all know is out in the league now. Like I just now heard of Aaron Judge. We all known about him for
yeah,
years. I
yeah,
just heard about him like maybe last year when he was hitting all those home runs, and I was like, oh, who this? I mean,
yeah,
Shohei Ohtani. I know about him a couple of years prior to that. Some of the big names, but I never really sat and watched because like I was saying, most of my stuff comes from when Greg Maddox and all them boys is playing, and you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
early 2000s, I might know a lot more, you know what I'm saying? But as time progressed, my time with baseball kind of just started really dwindling. But I would
Yeah.
like to get back into it. I still ain't sat myself down to watch a baseball game. But then again,
Yeah.
I don't really watch a
Yeah.
whole lot of
That
TV outside of Sunday.
right.
Sunday.
Before we get out of here, Gary, who
Hmm.
is your MVP, man? Who you got?
For what are you talking about? The American League?
Yeah, American League.
Oh, it's Judge, no question.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. No, if you look at his stats, man, I mean, he's the batting champion. He's got his batting average is 60 points higher than Cal Raleigh.
Cal
60
Riley's,
points.
yeah.
Okay. He's got almost as many home runs this year. He's got more hits. He's been intentional. I mean, he's been like almost on the same. I mean, we're not even going to talk about the ballpark that the
Yeah.
standard that Barry Bonds set when he was getting intentionally walked back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
He set a record for intentional walks for a player in the American League in a season this year, which is huge. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, as much as I wouldn't complain if Cal Raleigh won it because he's a catcher, which is the most important position on the
That's
field. He's a
I
switch
don't know.
hitter,
That's
which
why
is
it's Cal Riley for me.
it's crazy that a switch hitter hit 60 home runs this year. It's crazy that a
It's
catcher hit
impressive.
60 home runs this year.
Home
It's
runs,
crazy that that's
exactly.
the same person, but all he's doing is hitting it. That's all that's all he's doing is swinging for the fences. When you really watch his games, I mean, he's like
Gosh,
Schwarber,
Gary,
man.
when you
He's
put
like
it
Schwarber.
like that,
And so I mean, if you in baseball, if you're successful 1 out of 4 times, you've got a shot at being MVP.
and well, when he closed the
But
season out against the Colorado Rockies and
yeah,
hit two,
oh
what he
yeah.
hit two that night.
Well, yeah,
Against
I mean, he
Colorado.
had the good fortune of playing Colorado the last 3 games of the season too. So you got to give him that too.
I knew that was.
Everybody,
That's why I said
everybody had a good week
it.
if they played the Rockies this year. So, but no, yeah, I mean, I would love to see Raleigh win it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Um, but baseball is not like basketball. When LeBron was the best player in the NBA, they were still giving it to other players just because they felt bad that they kept giving it. Just like they when they gave it
Charles
to
Barkley.
the even the 76ers player the other year.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid. He shouldn't have
Embiid,
won
Joel
that.
Embiid.
It
Yeah,
should have been Jokic.
Mm,
They don't do that in baseball. If you're the best player, you get the MVP. And
yeah,
yeah, Aaron George is not even close. I mean, his stats are so much better if you really, except for home runs, and it's not even
yeah,
that close, it's not even that big of a distance. Um,
yeah. It's like 2 or 3, right?
it's like 6 or something like that. I think he
Is
hit
it?
like
Because didn't
54.
Aaron Judge at
He still
58,
hit
right?
54 home runs. The no
Yeah,
the list of players that have like won the batting title and hit 50 home runs is not a very long list. And
right.
Judge did that this year.
Yeah,
So you got to look. I mean, what Raleigh did was historic, but for Judge, it's just, another historic. I mean, every year is historic for him, it seems like, just like with
yeah. Right
Otani.
now, especially after this season,
Yeah.
because he's broken
Yeah.
at this young age. He's broken so many records.
And maybe that's why everybody's looking at Raleigh as the MVP favorite because this is just another year. Even though Judge's stats are crazy, just like Otani. I mean, Otani still hit like 54 home runs this year, and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
but
when
it
did he
was
do
like a
that?
normal thing for
Yeah,
Otani.
it's another normal thing for him.
Yeah,
So, oh, but look at this shiny thing in Seattle. We're going to go ahead and give him the MVP because we're not
yeah.
used to somebody from Seattle
I,
hitting,
I
doing
think that's
well.
what it is for me, Gary. I think
Maybe
that's
that's
what
what
it
it is.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Maybe
that's
it's
what
like
it is.
he's your sentimental favorite. And baseball
Yeah.
don't do sentimental favorites. They're like, no,
No, they don't. No, they don't.
no. Aaron Judge
So
was ridiculous this year, so we're going to give him another MVP.
yeah, fair enough. Well,
Cool.
as always, I appreciate y'all joining me for the show. Thank you
Yeah.
to
Fun.
everybody that listened to the show or watched the show. Much appreciated. And I will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hopefully,
All
I'm
right, y'all
talking
have a
about a
good
win
one.
for San Fran.
Yeah. I hope so too.
Go Rams. Rams house.
Yeah.
Nah, not here
Nobody
though.
cares.
Not here.
No.
All
All
right,
right, y'all.
John. Peace.
Peace.
Later.